Well, I'm a band manager here in Midlands. I kind of consider myself the bonus member.
How did you get into band management?
It's a pretty cute story, actually. When I was young, or before I was born, my dad was part of a band, the Drunken Pine Cones. It's a long story, but that's kind of how him and my mom met. She was his band manager, and I knew when I grew up I wanted to be just like her.
What band are you managing right now?
Only the hottest indie rock band in Midlands right now, the Hound Dogs. They even just came out with one of their new EPs, Rebel Ecstasy. You should totally check it out.
I want to talk about today's case. How were you involved?
Well, like I said, I'm manager of the Hound Dogs, so I would book them gigs on different shows, and I had booked them a gig on the show on June 29th, so I was there that day.
Have you worked with MTS before?
Yeah, tons of times before. I've also worked with some of their talent bookers.
So did you work with James and Clark in this case?
Yes, I did.
What was it like working with James and Clark, their talent booker, for the June 29th performance?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, usually booking shows is pretty straightforward, but I had problems with Jameson. He was slow to reply to my emails and calls, and things weren't always really clear with him.
What do you mean things aren't really clear?
Well, one thing comes to mind. Before I came on the show, we were confirming the Hound Dog performance, and we had been emailing, and he sent me an email confirming the performance and sent me in a random attachment about an animal.
Ms. Hollis, did you ever read that attachment?
No, I mean, I don't really train animals, I train band members, so that wasn't really for me, I didn't think at that time, so I opened and closed it after that.
Did James and Clark or any of the other MTS staff ever bring up those guidelines to you again?
No, I never saw them again.
So let's talk about the day in question, June 29th. When did you get to the studio that day?
I got there half an hour before the band, so 11 a.m.
What happened when you got there?
Not much, I kind of settled in, and then I've been trying this new meditation technique where I walk around the studio just to get myself familiarized, so I was doing that, and when I passed by one of the doors next to me, I just remember hearing weird noises coming from inside.
Did you find out where these noises are coming from?
Yeah, I went in and let the curiosity get the best of me, and I saw a monkey in the middle of the room.
Did this surprise you?
Yeah, I mean, why would there be an animal on set at that point? I didn't know there was going to be one. So I went to go ask someone about why there was a monkey in the room, and then I heard some voices coming from down the hall, so I decided to go check it out, and I saw Alex Grace and Danny Kozak having a conversation.
What did you hear them say?
I mean, I wasn't too focused on it. I just remember Alex saying something like, "You're too uptight, Danny. You're focused on all the wrong things. Just think about the ratings, baby."
Okay, so let's talk about the rehearsal itself. Were you able to watch the rehearsal that day?
I was. I'm going to be honest, I don't usually go to the rehearsal, but in light of what everything is happening, I decided to go check it out. I walked right onto set. Nobody really asked me who I was. I even scored myself a front row seat.
As you were making your way to your seat, did you see any signs posted on the set about there being an animal act that day?
No, I didn't even see one, and honestly, it kind of threw me off my game. On show days, I like to know everything that's going on, and I just didn't see anything telling me that there was going to be an animal there.
So what happened when the rehearsal began?
It seemed pretty standard. I had to leave shortly after that because I was getting a call from a promoter from the town over, so I had to leave to answer that call.
Did you come back to your seat?
Yes, I did. I came back to my seat, and at that point, I was answering some tender messages from a guy, Dylan Hendricks. So I wasn't really paying attention, but then the next second, I just heard screaming from the chimp.
What happened next?
Well, it was terrifying. I mean, it scared me so much. I dropped my phone and I started to try and run away, but then the next second, I heard screaming again. But this time, it wasn't from the chimp, it was from a man.
Ms. Hollis, what did you see next?
It was horrible. I wish I was never there that day. The chimpanzee started attacking Christopher Fauna, and I saw Danny Kozak trying to desperately pull the chimp off of Chris, but it was no use.
So what did you do in this situation?
I called 911. I didn't know what else to do, and while I was there, I saw a cat next to the audience exit of the studio.
Ms. Hollis, would you recognize a copy of this 911 phone call and transfer it forward?
Yes,
showing opposing counsel what has been marked as a date. And handing the witness the same. Ms. Hollis, do you recognize what I just gave you?
Yeah, this is the transcript of the call I made.
Does this look like a fair and accurate copy of that transcript?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, the defense moves to enter the date in evidence.
No objection.
Ms. Hollis, can you please just read the lines where you mention the cat to the 911 operator?
Yeah, I say, apparently there's a cat here too. This place is a zoo. And then afterwards I say, it's gone, I think. I don't know where it came from or where it went. Whatever. We need the ambulance here right now.
Retrieving the document and portion of the jury. So after you called 911, Ms. Hollis, what did you do next?
I went back to the van, told them what happened, and we decided to pack up and leave. And while we were loading the van, I just remember hearing Alex Grace in the parking lot talking about, saying something like, Chris Villafana, yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. Chicken wings, I don't know what they were thinking.
Did you talk to Alex Grace?
Of course I did. I mean, talking to Alex and having that good relationship was the only way I was going to get my bands on shows. And so I went to talk to him, and all he replied with was, if anybody asks, I gave you a hand on animal safety, okay?
Thank you, Ms. Hollis. Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Proceed.
Good morning, Ms. Hollis.
Good morning.
I'd first like to talk to you about something that you were talking about on direct examination. You mentioned a phone call that you overheard between Ms. Kosak and Mr. Grace, correct?
No, I don't remember talking about that on
It's
direct.
a conversation.
Yes, that's correct. Conversation.
In that conversation, you didn't mention that you heard the defendant, Ms. Kosak, say, I'm just not 100% confident in today, correct?
I did mention that.
But you did hear Ms. Kosak say this.
Yeah, I think she said something to the effect of that, yeah.
But Ms. Hollis, you did hear those exact words from Ms. Kosak, yes or no?
Yes, that's what I just said.
Now next, you also heard a phone call between, you heard a phone call by Ms. Kosak.
Yes, I remember I heard Ms. Kosak was on the phone at one point.
And in that phone call, you heard her say, I just don't have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, she said something like that. It kind of reminded me of one of those songs, my favorite song, by the
But
way.
you did hear her say those words, correct?
Yes, like I just said, I did hear that.
Now, I'd like to reshift to the time that you showed up to the set. That was around 11:30, correct?
Sorry, when I showed up?
Yes.
I actually showed up at 11. The band showed up at 11:30,
Right.
but I would understand the mistake.
So you and your band arrived at the end by 11:30, and you went into a dressing room.
Yes, I went into my dressing room at about 11.
Right. And as you stated, you went into the defendant, Ms. Kosak's dressing room next to yours, correct?
Yeah, like I said, I heard weird noises coming from it. I didn't know if maybe the band was like trying to play a prank on me or something, so I went in there and then I saw a monkey.
And you later found out that those weird noises were actually screeching coming from a chimpanzee, correct?
Yeah.
The chimpanzee was holding onto the bars of the cage.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The chimpanzee was jumping up and down, screeching.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite the reception. I walked into the room and he seemed very excited to see me.
But all of this actually made you think, to your knowledge, that the chimpanzee was agitated.
I mean, yeah, at that time, I mean, just seeing like King Kong and stuff when he's like on the Empire State Building, it kind of looks similar to that, but I mean, I don't really know exactly what was going on.
Now let's talk about the rehearsal itself. As you mentioned on direct examination, you sat in the audience, correct?
Yes, I did, front row.
And from this vantage point, you could see pretty much the entire stage.
Yeah, pretty much, but I mean, I was kind of focused on my phone, sorry.
You were on and off your phone,
Yes, that's correct.
but at one point, you took a phone call.
Yeah, like I said, I was getting a call from a band manager from the town over. I mean, I have to uphold my managerial duties, so I went to go answer it.
And when you came back from that phone call, you noticed that the defendant was no longer sitting next to the chimp, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I think she had walked off stage at that point.
She had walked off stage and placed herself behind a group of writers, correct?
Yeah, I don't really know what she was doing. I think she might have been talking to someone, like a
But
producer.
there were writers in between the chimpanzee and Miss Cossack.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really know what she was doing. I think she might have been talking to someone. I'm not really sure. I wasn't really focused on it.
And again, you were on and off your phone until you heard screeching.
Yeah, that's right.
And you heard screeching from the chimpanzee,
Yes, I did.
just like you had earlier in the dressing room.
Yes, I mean, I don't have perfect pitch, but it did sound pretty similar.
And it was also jumping up and down in its chair, correct?
Yes.
And this was, again, just like it had in the dressing room before.
Yes, that's correct.
And then you heard screaming another time, but as you stated, it was from a man.
Unfortunately, yes.
And you saw as the chimpanzee attacked that man.
Yes, I did.
And at no point to what you saw, did you see Mr. Grace do anything to provoke the chimpanzee?
I don't really know what provoking would look like, but I was on my phone. I had my back turned at that point.
But to what you saw, at no point did you see any sudden movements, any provoking of the chimpanzee by Mr. Grace?
To what I saw, no, but again, I wouldn't really want to say it under oath. I was on my phone.
No further questions.
Your Honor, I have nothing further this witness may ask that she speaks from stand.
Thank you.
And with that, Your Honor, the defense rests, and we ask